Today we're covering the 8 do's and don'ts of wholesaling real estate for beginners. After training and working with thousands of wholesalers and flippers over the last decade, it's become apparent that knowing what not to do is as important as knowing what to do. Plus, if you stay till the end, you'll start to understand these do's and don'ts. And if you just implement one of these do's and don'ts in your business, it will help you make tens of thousands of dollars more per month and save you tens of thousands of dollars because you're gonna be learning from our deals, our students' deals, and 10 plus years of experience. And if you stay till the end, you'll get the do's and don'ts download. I'll make sure you're able to download this with all of our timeless principles in here. And this is something we've actually shared with our community and our students, and we've got a lot of praise and they seem to like it. So I wanted to give this to you. Now let's dive right into it. Do's and don'ts of wholesaling real estate for beginners. Number 1, do not submit a real estate contract without an inspection contingency clause. So when wholesaling real estate, an inspection contingency clause allows you to back out of a property that you have under contract due to the inspection of the property, but it's also a back out clause if you cannot find a buyer for your wholesale real estate deal. If you put this property under contract and maybe you looked at photos on the MLS or you looked at the property one time and then you look at it 3 days later while it's still under contract, and then you discover a $20,000 fix that needs to happen on the slab because it's cracked, well, because you have an inspection contingency, you can back out of the contract and not be obligated to buy the property. You can get your earnest money deposit back if you have one. And then also you can work on negotiating your price down, your initial price, because you have this contingency, you have leverage. But most importantly, having an inspection contingency clause will allow you to wholesale risk-free because you'll always have a backout plan. So this is why I'm covering this as number 1, because if you're submitting contracts without an inspection contingency clause or no contingency clauses, then basically what you're saying technically is that I am going to buy this property no matter what. That's not the goal of wholesaling real estate. The goal of wholesaling real estate is to put the property under contract, to have a backout clause in case we can't wholesale it, but then to successfully wholesale it to a cash buyer and get your wholesale fee. So for us and our students, what's normal for us, we usually start with a 7-day inspection contingency clause on each and every contract we send on a single family house that we want to wholesale. And we're always trying to wholesale that house within that 7-day period, because if we can't find that buyer, we can back out due to the inspection. So you always want to operate within that time frame period, because once you're out of that time frame period, then you're obligated to buy that property or you can lose your earnest money deposit. So you want this inspection contingency clause on each and every contract so you're protected, so you can wholesale virtually risk-free, and so you have a timeline and time frame to wholesale this property to your cash buyers. So do's and don'ts, number 2 of wholesaling real estate for beginners: do not inflate or deflate your numbers when sending a wholesale deal to a cash buyer. All right, now I want you to think about this. Would you want to work with someone who fudges their numbers, who tells them lies, that doesn't really tell them the truth when maybe talking about a property or anything in business? Probably not. We like to send our cash buyers our estimated ARV of a property, the after repair value, so what it will sell at in its best possible condition once it's fixed up. And we also like to send the estimated repairs to our cash buyer so that we can help them in the process and put numbers in front of them that are real and authentic. Now, what a lot of amateurs and beginner wholesalers do is that they actually inflate their numbers. They'll inflate the ARV of a property when really the ARV is 300, they may say 350. And then what they'll also do is deflate the repair costs. So when the repair cost of a house to bring it up to current market trends, it may be actually 40,000. An amateur may say it's 20,000. And when you do this, when you inflate and deflate numbers, they're gonna roll their eyes when they see your deals. They're not going to take you seriously. And it's the beginner wholesalers that do this that start asking questions like, why aren't my cash buyers responding to my emails, my texts, or my calls? Or why aren't they taking me seriously when I actually do talk with them? And it's because they're not taking you seriously because you don't know your numbers. You're fudging your numbers. So what you do want to do is you want to have accurate numbers that you can send to your cash buyers. Now, this requires you to step up as a wholesaler and be different than a lot of other wholesalers, the majority of them, to actually know your numbers, to understand how to get an ARV through comping properties, to actually understand the repair costs for your local market so you can assist your cash buyer, so you can take the server approach and be the best wholesaler for them. This is what's going to get cash buyers calling you every single week and saying, hey, when's the next deal coming along? Hey, I really want to work with you. Keep sending me great deals. That's what we want our cash buyers to be saying to us. And those are the types of conversations we want to be having with our cash buyers. So do send accurate numbers, because this will streamline communication and you'll be able to build relationships with your cash buyers based on a foundation of trust rather than a foundation of fudge, right? So don't fudge your numbers. Do's and don'ts of wholesaling real estate for beginners. Number 3, do not only wholesale deals that are a win for you. Let me explain the situation of what we want to do. We want to create win-win-win scenarios for everyone involved in the transaction. Typically, when we're wholesaling a house, that house that we find is in a distressed condition, and the seller's typically in a distressed situation. They're going through divorce, a job relocation, or they may be facing default, right? They may not be paying their mortgage payments. And so the first win that we create is when we bring a cash buyer to the table that's able to purchase their house for all cash and saves them from their distressed situation. So that's a win, number 1. The second win we want to create is a win for our cash buyer. We want to wholesale them a profitable deal so that when they fix and flip that property and resell it, it's profitable and they want to work with us again and again and again. Now, lastly, we make those 2 situations happen. The third win happens automatically for us. We make a wholesale fee on that deal. And typically you want to aim for $10,000. That's the average wholesale fee we see across the nation, and that we and our students always aim for on each and every deal. So when you ask the question of how can I make this deal? How can I make this situation a win for everyone involved? That's when you take the server approach and you're being selfless, and at the same time, you're taking care of everyone in the transaction. This is how you're going to get sellers to actually give you referrals of other people in distressed situations where you can wholesale their houses. This is where you're going to get the cash buyers calling you back to work with you again and again and again. This is where you're going to get real estate agents that are calling you with houses on the market and off the market that you can wholesale as well. So when you take this approach of not only creating deals or situations that are wins for you, but when you create win-win-win scenarios for everyone involved, that's when your business is going to start to thrive. Do's and don'ts of wholesaling real estate for beginners. Number 4, do not speculate on the numbers of a wholesale deal. So what I mean by this is when you're calculating the ARV of a deal, the after repair value, what you want to do is use past historical sales comparables. You don't want to say that, hey, the market's going up 5% this month and 10% the next month and 20% the next month. And then only in that scenario is your deal going to be a profitable deal for your cash buyer. And only in that scenario is it going to be a profitable deal for you to wholesale. The most sophisticated cash buyers do not base their business on speculation. And speculation is how you get hurt, because now if the Fed increases interest rates and prices level off or even start to go down, that's when you're going to get in and out of this business. It's when you're going to lose your shirt. It's when you're going to be SOL, if you catch my drift. So what you want to do is be a rational real estate investor, someone that bases their numbers off of facts, someone that bases their number off of past historical sales, rather than speculating and thinking the market's going to go up and up and up. This is how you always make every single deal a great one, and where you're not trying to make a sour deal into a great one. So base everything on reality, become the best at this, because throughout time, when you start evolving and wholesaling and fixing and flipping houses as well, you have to be conservative. You can't be speculative, because then if the market, once again, goes down or the market stays the same and you're basing off speculation, that's where you're going to lose money, or you're going to work on a fix and flip deal, take 6 months and have it be break even, right? That's not fun. And I'm telling you this from experience. I want you to learn these principles now when you're starting out, so you're not speculating. So you're not thinking that the ARV is going to be 400 when it's really 350. Right? And when you do this, this is when cash buyers will take you seriously, and this is when you're going to be the best wholesaler in your area. Do's and don'ts, number 5 of wholesaling real estate as a beginner: do not state to your cash buyer or anyone involved in the transaction that you are selling a house. As a wholesaler, it's important to understand exactly what you're doing. And as a wholesaler, you are not selling a house. You are selling the contract rights, which is called the equitable interest in the contract. So once again, you're not selling the house, because selling a house, that is the job, that is the duty of a licensed real estate agent. So you are actually selling the contract itself. And so when you publicly go out to the world and you say, hey everyone, I'm selling this house, and you're unlicensed, that's a no-no. That's how you can get in trouble. That's how the Bureau of Real Estate can come at you and say, what the heck are you doing? And it's these people, it's these beginners that think they're selling a house that give wholesalers a bad name. So understand that you're only selling the equitable interest in a contract. You're only selling the contract rights, because that's what you do as a wholesaler. Do's and don'ts of wholesaling real estate number 6, do not focus on several deal acquisition methods at one time. For example, you may be a rock star at wholesaling houses from the MLS. That's fantastic. Now what you want to do is plug in other people into your business. Plug in acquisitions associates that can do the work for you before you go run off and start a whole nother acquisition method, because then you'll just leave this thing that's working for you very, very well and forget about it, and then it will dry up and run out. So when you can actually systemize one acquisition method, plug in other people, you'll always have a pipeline full of deals, you'll always be sending offers every single day, and you'll be closing wholesale deals every single month as well. And that's where we want to get each and every one of you. But if you're interested in learning how to wholesale houses from the MLS, then just go to realestateskills.com/training and we'll show you exactly how to do that. All right, so don't focus on 10 things at a time, focus on one thing at a time, and that's going to increase your likelihood of success and building a successful wholesaling business. Do's and don'ts of wholesaling real estate for beginners number 7, do not send out the deal to thousands of cash buyers when you have a wholesale deal. All right, so this is where we differ from a lot of other wholesalers. A lot of wholesalers will tell you to build a cash buyers list of thousands of cash buyers all across the nation. And maybe you do have that with all of these emails and all these potential cash buyers, and then you get a deal and you blast it out to everyone.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We've tested this, and what we found is that when we actually find local quality cash buyers that are doing multiple deals per month that we know on a first name basis, the likelihood of you closing the deal is so much higher because you can actually work with people that you trust, that you know, and know you on a first name basis. So you can really call them on the phone and talk to them about your particular deal and see if they're willing to close the deal and work with you on it. And the downside of blasting out your wholesale deal to thousands of buyers, guess what happens? You don't know everybody on that list, and you're gonna have people that go around you. You're gonna have people that try and reach the seller and take that deal right underneath you. So this is where if you build a team of cash buyers that you have a relationship with, you don't need thousands, but you only have a few, maybe 3 to 5 quality that are actually doing deals in your area, you're absolutely going to increase your chances of wholesaling a deal. No one's going to go around you. And when we work with local cash buyers that are quality, that are doing multiple deals per month, these are cash buyers that aren't satisfied doing one deal every 6 months or one deal every 12 months. These are cash buyers doing 5 to 10 deals per month. These are the cash buyers that want deals, that are hungry, that want to pay you top dollar for your deals. And so when you focus on those people and build a relationship with them, you're not going to be dealing with the tire kickers or the people that think they're cash buyers and watch one HD TV show. You're going to be dealing with people that are actually actively doing deals in your area today. And that's going to increase the likelihood of you closing your deals and get the highest wholesale fees possible. That's the goal here. The goal isn't to have some massive quantity of cash buyers. The goal is to actually have cash buyers that close deals and pay you wholesale fees. So don't send out your deal to thousands of cash buyers, but do send them to a handful of the best buyers in your area that you have relationships with so that they pay you top dollar for your contracts. And I mean an average of at least $10,000 per deal, where they're ecstatic to pay you this money because they know the more they pay you, the more deals you're going to bring them and the better the deal will be. And here we are in the last one. You made it. Number 8. Don't believe that every single offer you send or every single deal you get under contract is going to work out. In our experience, we've seen when utilizing the MLS to get wholesale deals, it takes about 10 to 15 offers sent in order to get a deal closed. When you understand these numbers, that's a 6.6 to 10% acceptance and close rates. So if you're sending a very low amount of offers, maybe 1 or 2, 3 offers a month, you're not going to be getting many deals or any deals at all. So I want you to understand that we have to have the right expectations. And believe it or not, it was Wayne Gretzky, one of the greatest hockey players of all time, that said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And in Wayne Gretzky's career, he shot over 5,000 times on goal, but only scored about 17% of the time. So he knew every single game he was going to miss 83% of his shots. So just like I told you today, you know that you're going to miss 9 times out of 10. That shouldn't stop you. That should encourage you. You should know that now every single offer you send, you are one step closer, one offer closer towards your goal, and that should be extremely motivating. Why the range of 10 to 15 offers, right? Well, when you're starting out, you're gonna have to send more offers out in the beginning because you're not gonna send as high of a quality of offers. You're not gonna be as good as building relationships with agents. You're not gonna be as good on your numbers, right? So you're gonna have to send a higher number of offers in order to get a deal accepted. Now, as you get better over time, the amount of offers you need to send out will get less and less. So don't believe that every single offer you send is going to work out or every single deal, and that's completely fine. Do understand that you got to send multiple offers in order to hit 5 to 6 figures a month from wholesaling real estate, and that's completely fine because it's all worth it. And remember, we have the 8 do's and don'ts of wholesaling real estate for you to download as a free PDF. All you have to do is go to realestateskills.com/do, and you'll have these timeless principles with you forever. And we'll also put the link in the description, so be sure to get that. And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for when the next video is coming out. We'll always keep bringing the best content for you. And then drop a comment below. If any of these do's and don'ts resonate with you today, let me know, and I'll be sure to respond. This is Alex Martinez with realestateskills.com. Thanks for making it this far. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like our content, definitely check out any of these videos as well. We made them just for you to help you wholesale and flip more houses. So happy wholesaling, happy flipping. Have a great day.